Creative Bloom, projects and inspiration with fabric and wire. Prepare your own garden of self-expression with creative fabric and wire projects inside Creative Bloom. Techniques that you can use again in your personal artwork. So Creative Bloom, it's by Jennifer Swift, and we'll go straight to the table of contents. It's split into 8 chapters, and the author uses references to the garden. And the thing I like about this book is that throughout the book, through each chapter, she refers to our creative growth. She refers to things like sowing the garden, preparing the soil, and she talks about the work that she did in her own garden and how she first started. So the chapters we have: clearing the soil, the tool shed, peeking over the fence, forcing growth, amending your soil, ornaments for your garden, creating a seasonal garden, planning your growing season. So when you look at the first chapter, clearing the soil, beginning the process of renewal, cultivating inspiration, prepare for planting. For me, that would be how gathering your supplies, thinking about the kind of supplies that you're going to need, thinking about the ideas that you come up with. And if you have a garden space, you can also work on that and look through that. So as it says, there's 21 projects that you can make, and throughout there are inspiring quotes that you can refer to. It gives you all the tools and materials and the kind of techniques that you'll be learning, and there are also additional tips that you can refer to in the book. So it's really useful in terms of just getting you to think of more. And then it also shares things like how do you then move on, so additional tips that you can cultivate more inspiration around that project. And once you've finished, it gives you some additional things that you can do where it says finishing the project. So it's full of lovely pictures, and I think most of the examples you get a real clear view of how to make it, and it's got quite detailed descriptions. So it's great to be able to, you can look at a project and you can think, okay, well, you may not necessarily have the same supplies, so you can adapt the supplies to suit, but it gives you some easy looking, I'm sure with practice, easy looking metal wire embellishments to make. And she does encourage that you kind of trace it out, because it's easier then to work from a drawing than it is to just try and imagine how you want it to be, unless you've done it before. Yeah, so there's some nice projects throughout, great tips, and as I say, I like the reference to your garden, inspiration in the garden, because for me, creativity and what you can be creative out in the garden, and it's a really nice way to refer to our creative growth. At the back we have a series of templates that you can use, and you can make your own. It's a good way to think about, okay, well, you've written create, dream, inspired, and think about some other words that you would like to do, and use the same kind of lettering that she's done on here. This book is by Northlight Books.